Alright, what's up guys? So we took another trade here on GJ and we did lose on the trade here, so as you can see we are down around 0.5% on the account here for our phase 1 on funding pips. For this, let's zoom in on the little area here. So it's getting rid of all the spaces here. If we do go backtrack, let's go on trading view, it's a little bit easier. Okay, so we lost this trade, and I'm actually going to be talking about missed trades as well, just because today there was actually news regarding FOMC on USD. So FOMCs, if you guys know, the markets move, and sometimes you do miss setups there, but you can get in. I wouldn't recommend during the news, but you know, if your setups occur maybe 2-3 hours before the news and you're on a position, completely fine, right? So this is a loss trade. I'll be talking about a loss trade and 2 missed trades that we could have taken. Now I'll explain as well why basically on how and why I did not decide to take those 2 setups. So let's go with GJ first here. Close this out. Let's do an example. Okay, so earlier, if you do backtrack, this was a zone right here. So we don't, right over here. Okay. Oh, sorry, this is an accuracy zone. Right over here, accuracy zone. So we entered on this flip right here. So we had liquidity, broke its own high, and overall trend we are bullish here. So I think this is more of an impulsive trade, just because we have really great zones below. However, GJ kept moving up. See, we went to here, never tapped the zone by barely, boom, barely tapped the zone, etc., etc. So I did enter right over here, and of course you want to target your high. You can do TP1 here, and then if you backtrack here, there's actually a bunch of liquidity you can take here or here. The potential 5R, even here, because this is a really strong liquidity that you can grab, which to a potential 8R there. So it started really strong actually right over here. Around 8 a.m. is when we took the entry. There was news right here around 1 p.m. So we already were, let me see. We're actually already 1R. Typically my rules is after you go 1R, you go BE, right? That I do not know why I didn't follow my strategy there, so that was my fault. The only time I will not put BE is if the candles shoot up, and I'll give you guys an example of the shoot up. So this is a loss trade. We are drawdown of 0.5% on the 50K account. Let's go. I think JIR 30 was. This is a picture perfect setup right here, you guys. Okay. So basically, pattern wise, we don't trade patterns, but this is typically what you want to see for this. For the strategy is you supply and demand. You have a supply, you fake out liquidity here, and then you go to your main supply and demand zone. Right. So people may have an order here, we eat it up, and then we go continue. So missed trades, guys. We actually had 2 missed trades today, and the reason why I did not take these trades is I like to have only 1 position at a time, right? For this, I don't think I will ever change it, just because of my risks. You know, I'm not comfortable with having 3 positions open at the same time, just because it's gonna psychologically it messes me up. So if I do have just 1 trade, I'm completely fine. Win or lose, doesn't matter. I accept that risk already. So that's it. Yeah, you can't really backtrack on your strategies there. But let's say we did potentially take that right here. So we create liquidity right over here. This liquidity made a lower low, and we are actually converting here the EMA. So looks like the trend is reversing into a bearish. Right. The only other major reason as to why I would have not taken the trade, although it is valid, we took out these lows right here and we took out these lows, right, is overall Jury 30 is pretty bullish on the higher time frame, and usually in the higher time frame I don't like to counter trend. But this, I'll show you guys an example of what I showed on GJ. Is if it's aggressive, right, taps the zone, it goes aggressive down, then I do a 1-to-1 BE, right? So 3, okay, if it hits 1R, I go BE, okay? If I lose trade, whatever. If I win. So you have a risk-free trade here, and my typical targets are the lows right here. So let me backtrack here. So you could have targeted a 5, like a R5, because there's valid liquidity here. And what's crazy is it actually ended up running all the way down here. And if you look on the left side of time, the 4 hours, there's a huge gap here. You know, it just went through the gap. It's honestly, I think it's gonna take out all these liquidities and probably fill this huge gap right here, because it's a huge move, right? Okay, so that's one, and then the other was, I believe, yeah, GA. GA was a crazy one, you guys. So this, I do believe it tapped the zone. Let me just zoom in. Okay, so it barely tapped the zone here by four mini pips. Technically, this would have tapped the zone here. There's another perfect A plus setup here. This one is actually A plus because it follows a trend. We are in a huge bullish uptrend. And how it goes, you guys already know the pattern is you do this, fake liquidity up, run through that liquidity, and then we just push up. See? So we go supply here, fake supply here. We go down, take out all of the supply, and then we go up. Or sorry, not supply, demand, because it's bullish. But pretty much another great example of when I would do the strategy right here is, you see the reaction where it's completely up. If it's like this, if I'm already 1-to-1, I don't like close my position, but if this flies like this, of course we do the target 1-to-3, put it to BE for stop loss, so now you're running free. TP1 at 3, and then TP2 can be just look at the left, like what has to be filled. So if you look back here, this liquidity needs to be filled right over here. Look, we bounced off twice, so double bottom, so I'm assuming it would tap here and then reverse. But if not, this would be a perfect zoner here. This is a huge resistance on the higher time frame, and you guys know higher time frame is always the move. We can target that, you know, boom, you can take partials all the way, but that would have been a 1-to-19. Now realistically, if we're going to do a 1-to-19, probably a 1-to-10 max, just because I don't like getting too greedy. You know, we already won, but this actually hits, what is this? It's actually at 9.6 R, you guys. That's crazy. Honestly, I think it will hit that 1-to-10. Then again, we missed the trade. No regrets though. We'll get them next time. So that's it for the video, guys. What I stick to is, you know, one position at a time. If you're comfortable with having 2-3 positions, completely up to you. You know, these are all great valid trades. Fortunately, nothing was forced. So that, again, we did take another loss, unfortunately, on GJ, but we are following the strategy. And, you know, these strategies are back tested for the last couple years. So sometimes in your trading journey, you know, you're going to have a losing streak, but what's important is, you know, keep the same mindset. You know, keep being hungry. Wake up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whenever you want to trade. Set alerts and just stick to the plan. And yeah, if you guys have any questions below, let me know. Still losing, but overall, I think we're getting better 1% at a time each day. That's what matters, right? All right, peace up.